There's an easier way to solve the determinant of 3 by 3 order, which helps us save our time. That is Sarah's rule. Now let's say we have a determinant a11, a12, a13, a21, a22, a23, a31, a32, a33. Now the shortcut of solving this determinant is, first write all the elements as it is. Now after the third row, again write the first and second rows. Now make the diagonals starting from this element. Make diagonals starting from the top elements on both sides, right and left. Now add all the elements on the diagonals and sum the summation of all the diagonals you are getting. So for this diagonal we have the sum a1 into a22 into a33 plus a21 plus into a32 into a13 plus a31 into a12 and a23. And for the diagonals going from right hand top to bottom left, we have a13, a22, a31 plus a23, a32, a11 plus a33, a12 and a21. Now all the elements of the diagonals which are present on the diagonals going from top left to bottom right, we take their value as positive and we subtract from them the summation of the elements which we got from the diagonals that were placed from the top right to the bottom left. So we have a negative sign here. Directly by calculating this value, we can get the value of this determinant. So this is a shortcut way of finding the values of the determinants. So defining this rule, what we can say, this rule says that first write all the elements of the determinant as it is. Second, below the third row, again write the first row, and below the first row note down the second row. Now draw diagonals from both sides starting from the first, second and third elements on both sides. Please note this rule. So the fourth step, multiply together all the elements present on a diagonal. Now add up the elements you got from all the diagonals. Giving a positive sign to the elements present on the diagonal going from top left to bottom right, and give a negative sign to the elements present on the diagonals going from top right to bottom left. Now multiply all the elements present on the same diagonals together. Now add up all the summation. Now add up all the elements present on the diagonals you got after multiplication. The values you got after multiplication giving a positive sign to the values on the diagonals going from top left to bottom right, and a negative sign to all the values present on the diagonals going from top right to bottom left. So these are the 5 steps you need to apply to use the Saras rule. Now at first you may think that this rule contains 5 steps that are very complex, and it may seem that it took a lot of time for us to calculate and apply these 5 steps. The previous basic method was easier. But when you get to the feel of this rule saves us a lot of time. These all five steps just come to our mind so quickly that it saves us a lot of time from the basic method. We get a habit of these 5 steps. Whenever we apply this rule, we just write down the elements, write down the first and the second rows, make the diagonals, add up and give them a sign, and just our work is finished. After we are used to this rule, it saves us a lot of time.